Admiral Voss of the Galactic Confederation sat rigid in his chair, his forearms trembling slightly as he reviewed the footage for the third time. The other council members, representatives from the 12 most advanced species in known space, watched in horrified silence. "Play it again," whispered Counselor Tim, her translucent skin pulsing with anxiety. The holographic display flickered, showing a training arena aboard the Confederation's prestigious military academy. In the center stood a lone human female cadet, small by galactic standards but standing with unmistakable confidence among the towering Kritax warriors. Human cadet Lisa Jones had volunteered for the Warrior Culture Exchange Program, designed to foster understanding between military traditions across species. The Kritax, with their 4-meter height, armored exoskeletons, and legendary battle prowess, had dominated galactic warfare for millennia. Their warrior culture was considered the pinnacle of combat excellence. Yet here was this human, this Deathworlder, calmly discussing strategy with them. "The issue with your formation," Lisa was saying politely to Commander Grak, a decorated Kritax veteran twice her age and 4 times her mass, "is that it assumes a frontal engagement. Earth military history shows repeatedly that asymmetric approaches yield better results against superior forces." The recording showed Grak's skepticism. "Theory without demonstration is win through empty corridors, human." "I'd be happy to demonstrate," Lisa replied with what the Council now recognized as the dangerous human expression called a smile. Admiral Voss paused the recording. "That was day 1, he said gravely. By day 3, she had convinced half the Kritax cadets to modify their ancestral battle techniques." The recording jumped forward. Now Lisa stood in the center of a modified training exercise, directing a mixed team of humans and Kritax against the Academy's combat simulations. The Kritax moved differently, lighter, less rigid in their formations, adapting moment by moment, rather than following their traditional attack patterns. The simulation difficulty was set to maximum. No cadet team had ever completed it successfully, until today. "Flank left, Torg," Lisa called out. The massive Kritax warrior immediately responded, abandoning the frontal charge his species favored to execute a perfect flanking maneuver that would have made Earth's historical generals proud. The simulation ended with a decisive victory. The Kritax cadets lifted Lisa onto their shoulders, a gesture they had learned from watching human sports videos she had shared during cultural exchange hours. By day 5, continued Admiral Voss, his voice hollow, she had integrated Earth combat philosophy with Kritax strength advantages. The Council watched another clip showing Lisa and 3 Kritax warriors practicing a new form of close-quarters combat that utilized Kritax physical power while incorporating the adaptability and unpredictability of human fighting styles. "What concerns us most," said Strategic Director Pell, "is not just the human's influence on our premier warriors, but what she learned in return." The reptilian official tapped a claw on the table nervously. The exchange was meant to be symbolic, a diplomatic gesture. No one expected actual integration. The final footage showed Lisa explaining Earth history to fascinated Kritax warriors during meal break. "Our planet's gravity is 1.4 times standard Confederation measurements," she was saying between bites of food. "We evolved as persistence, hunters. We would chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. Our ancestors could run for days when necessary." The Kritax listeners seemed skeptical. "Our history is filled with examples of smaller forces defeating larger ones through strategy," Lisa continued. "One human named Alexander conquered most of his known world before turning 30. Another called Napoleon revolutionized battlefield tactics. They understood that victory belongs not to the strongest but to the most adaptable." Counselor Tim stopped the recording with a trembling appendage. "The human has returned to Earth with complete knowledge of Kritax battle doctrine, while simultaneously altering that doctrine with human concepts. This changes everything." "That's not all," said Admiral Voss. Before leaving, Cadet Jones requested and received permission to create a permanent exchange program. 20 human cadets will arrive next cycle to train with our forces, and 20 Kritax warriors will study at Earth's military academies. Silence fell across the chamber. Do you understand what this means? Whispered Director Pell. Humans, the species we classified as primitive Deathworlders only 50 cycles ago, have just gained access to the finest military training in the galaxy. And they're improving on it. The exchange agreement is binding under Confederation law, noted Counselor Tem miserably. We cannot rescind it without diplomatic incident. Admiral Voss nodded grimly. And the humans know it. What looked like an enthusiastic cultural exchange was actually a military intelligence operation of stunning effectiveness, finished Director Pell. One unarmed human female has accomplished more military advantage for Earth in 1 week than our intelligence services could have imagined possible. The room fell silent again as the implications sank in. On the frozen holographic display, Cadet Lisa Jones smiled innocently at her Cretax training partners, her eyes bright with the unmistakable human quality that the galaxy was only now beginning to truly understand. Ambition. Send word to all Confederation species, Admiral Voss finally ordered. Diplomatic protocols with humans must be revised immediately. They are not the simple Deathworlders we assumed them to be. As the council dispersed, Admiral Voss remained, staring at the image of the smiling human cadet. He had lived for 3 centuries and commanded fleets across 12 star systems. Yet for the first time, he felt something unfamiliar prickling at the back of his neck, something humans would immediately recognize. Fear.